My name is Maria, and we're going to start the event today. Welcome to our third annual dinner. Yay! So, Women Encouraging Empowerment has been founded since 2010. We are an organization that helps empower women by giving them a voice, by teaching them how to get involved with their local politicians, how to be eating healthy, and being active members of their community. I am the new community organizer. My name is Maria Peniche. I am gay. I am undocumented, so I can't vote yet, but I'm getting there. And I'm here to give everyone a voice and help out, so hit me up later.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. My name is Dimple Rana. I am the Vice President of Women Encouraging Empowerment and an active member in the community and a longtime resident here in Revere. I'm going to start off first to acknowledge our local leaders here tonight. I'd like to acknowledge Mayor Rizzo, who's here. State Representative Rosalie Vincent. We also have Barbara Bishop from Speaker DeLeo's office. I think she might have left though. We have councilors at large. We have Robert Haas. Councilor at large, Jessica Janino. Councilor at large, Steve Morabito. We have Ward 2 City Councilor, Ira Novoselsi. And we have our school committee member, Carol Ty. So I'm just going to do a quick little logistics for the night. We have a voter registration table set up right here on the entry. We have Juan Pablo from Revere Youth in Action who is doing voter registration. So if you're not registered to vote yet, please see Juan Pablo. And we have a ton of raffle prizes that have been donated from many businesses here in Revere and in Chelsea. We have Diane Colello, who's a new board member, who's organized the raffles tonight. If you haven't had a chance to buy your raffle ticket, please do. You can see Victoria at the side table here. Tickets are $5 a piece. So we're going to get started with our first performance. We have the Forest Grace performance. They're going to have a beautiful performance with young children that you're going to be very pleased with. Let's go.
Our first dance is about a group of children getting ready for bed, and the dad's trying to get them into bed, and they're saying, no, we want to play. So this is our pajama dance.
Your bedtime. I want to see you in your jammies on the count of 1, 2, 3. Get your jammies on. Set your jammies on.
The parents that brought the children tonight, they got through the rush hour Boston traffic, and so I just wanted to say thank you to the parents who went to such great lengths to get the children here. We have one more dance to do for you, and the girls are just getting on their costumes.
I just need to make another quick announcement about parking. If you are, again, are parked here on the side street, please move your car to the parking lot at Paul Revere School, because the police are outside. You might get towed, so I want to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Bilingual justice. Hola a todos. Si se estacionaron del lado de la calle, por favor le pedimos que mueva su carro porque la policía ya está empezando a poner tickets. Gracias.
السلام عليكم. إذا أنت في حدا عامل باركينج في الأوتسايد بالشارع الرئيسي يضل يحطه على المدرسة، لأنه البوليس دلوقتي بيشيل وبياخذ السيارات.
Jahan, thanks for encouraging the girls to get up and join us. My name's Siobhan O'Brien. I'm co-founder of Forest Grace. We make dance and enrichment programs available to empower boys and girls residing in all of our communities. We partner with existing nonprofits like YMCA, Cambridge Public Schools. We're in the after-school program for Cambridge Public Schools, and we provide resources and opportunities for the children to reach their fullest potential, whether it's ballet or field trips to Boston Classical Orchestra, Boston Ballet. Also, if children express an interest in playing an instrument, we'll support them in finding instruction and purchasing an instrument or rental of an instrument. So we're devoted to building life skills and strong communities through the work we do, and we support the families so they can best nurture their children into responsible, joyful, heroic adults. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a really tough act to follow. But now we'd like to welcome our mayor, Mayor Thomas Russell. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's great to be here again with all of you. I think it's a terrific crowd. You should really give yourselves a great round of applause. You know, you do such great work, and it's another organization in the city that just makes me so proud to be part of, and really, really makes my job that much more enjoyable and that much more gratifying to be able to work with such great people like yourselves. So I'm happy to be here and support this organization. I am looking forward to hearing my colleague, Representative Vincent, and her remarks later on, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Mayor Rizzo. Just a quick tidbit. Mayor Rizzo and his administration started an office called the Office of New Revere Residents, and Women Encouraging Empowerment had been integral in working with his administration to get that off the ground. And now, almost 4 years later, we're a very thriving group. So if anyone is actually interested in joining this group, it's volunteer-based. It's open to all residents, new and old, who really want to make a space to welcome our new residents who are either coming from other cities or from other countries. So if you need more information about this, you can speak to me, you can speak to Fatu, or any of the other WE board members about that. So I'm just going to introduce our next piece. I'm going to invite up our current president, Laura Holmes, and one of the founders of Women Encouraging Empowerment, Fatu Fati, who many of you know. She's also the coordinator at the Revere Community School. Both Fatu and Laura are going to talk about a recent process that the board and staff had just conducted to create a current and future vision, a strategic vision about the next phase of Women Encouraging Empowerment. So please welcome Laura Holmes and Fatu Fati.
What a beautiful crowd. How y'all doing? Everybody finding enough to eat? You having a good time? Does everybody love WE? Yeah! Well, you all know this woman right here, because she's famous in Revere and beyond, and she's the reason I'm here. I met Fatu even before WE was in the shape that it's in now in the former organization. Fatu has always been a champion in this community, and I know I'm speaking to many of her good friends right now when I say that I think WE has done so much of the kind of work that unsung heroes often do. speaking, advocating for those who often don't find a voice, for those who find themselves on the margins, sometimes having trouble fitting in. Fatou has always been a champion, and I know she's a champion of every one of us here tonight, and I'd just like to thank Fatou. She didn't know I was going to do that. She's way too humble. But I just want to tell you a little bit. I don't want to tell you, I'm not going to bore you with a big lecture, but it was a big deal this year as we, believe it or not, only 3 years old and serving the hundreds and hundreds of women. And when you serve hundreds of women, you know what that means about how many children you're serving? You're going to have to multiply that by a lot. And so we're doing all this great work. What you might not know is that we do it on a shoestring budget. The annual budget of WE is somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000. That's something we got to change. And that was one of the conclusions in the strategic plan that we came up with. We started with our mission and grounding in our mission. We spent 3 Saturdays together. Board, volunteers, members. We had conversations with stakeholders, many of you in this room, community leaders, who talked about the value of WE. And these were just some of the ways that we went about that process. We thought about the strengths, we thought about what WE looks like. We talked to each other, we got in groups, we did visioning, and we wanted to figure out how to build for the next stage at WE. And these are some of the themes that came up. I think they'll make sense to everyone. We want to increase our visibility. You all know us and know us well, but a lot of people, believe it or not, still don't know us. And we'd like to advance that. We'd like to work with more partners and more in collaboration, both in Revere and in the other communities where we serve folks. We're, everybody okay? We are looking for all of you to help. So we're recruiting new members for our board of directors. And there is no requirement in skill or achievement or any other kind of thing to join WE's board. Just feel free to talk to Fatou or myself or Dimple or Jihan or any of us this evening and express that you might have an interest to see what it would be like to serve on our board. That would be great. We are working on figuring out our branding and social media stuff. So if there's any tech wizards out there who are willing to give a few hours time to we sure would love help with that. And if you're here tonight and you've got your Twitter feed going, send out a few tweets in favor of we. Would you do that? Thank you. Get photos in there, honey. But not of me. And let's see, we're always enlarging our programs. We're participating in some major research activities with Boston College that are getting us national attention for that. I wanted to make sure everybody knew about those things. It's interesting how we participates in the area of domestic violence, which is still a conversation that doesn't get spoken out loud very much in our community. But we learn a lot about it from working with the Women and Families and in our partnership with our friends Carew and everybody over at Harbor Cove in Chelsea. WE has long been a resource. Sometimes it's translating, sometimes it's providing advocacy, sometimes we're trying to help get someone into a safe place, and that partnership is invaluable to us and has been for many years. We're always trying to figure out how to do better fundraising. So if there's any people out there who would like to help good community-based organizations raise money, please talk to us about that. And our goal really is to take WE from what we consider to be sort of our adolescent stage right now to maybe improve our budget by at least 10 times. We need to have, you can imagine with a budget of $30,000, you can't even pay one full-time staff, much less all the folks that we have. And Jihan is our program director and does an incredible job and works a whole lot more than she gets paid for. I want to thank Jihan. Maria, our community organizer, is doing fantastic work out there every day. Are any of our teachers or volunteer mentors in the room tonight? Would you please stand up? Thank you to our teachers. You know, what we find is that what we want to do is cultivate new leaders in the community, and that for folks to become involved in their community, it won't be any surprise for folks to support their children getting through school, for folks to figure out how to be good neighbors and learn how to take care of their housing needs. The first step often is what? Learning English. And that's a lot of what we're doing in our WE offices, along with our partnership with the community school at Revere High School. So we want to thank Revere High School and everybody on the school committee and City Council for supporting our efforts there. And not to mention the involvement of WE as one of the key founding members and ongoing leaders at the Office of New Revere Residents. That's a major thing under Mayor Rizzo's leadership. That was one of the first moves that he made in office, was establishing the Office of New Revere Residents. So we're really excited about that. And we do have funders who have been generous with us. Their monetary donations raises that money that I was talking about. But we figure out ways to be resourceful with that. And so we access internships and volunteers. And we just do a whole lot of old-fashioned sweating, all hands on deck, and we can always use more. So I hope that every one of you will come up to us tonight sometime and say what you want to do to help WE going forward. In fact, you'll see on the tables some sheets that ask you to consider what you might want to commit tonight, and you can leave that right on the table when you go, and just check off something that you might do in the next year in support of women encouraging empowerment. We really appreciate that. And last but not least, I'd like to ask you all to, whoops, oh well, who cares? Don't look at the PowerPoint, look at Fatu. Buy some tickets for the lottery, for the raffle tickets. We have these amazing huge baskets over there. I mean, these things are worth a lot of dough, and they're going to make you very, very happy when you buy lots and lots of raffle tickets. And hurry up and do it, because I'm going to go around and bug every single one of you. Pick your pockets if I have to. Thank you so much for coming, for all you do for your community, and especially tonight for Women Encouraging Empowerment.
I just wanted to add a little bit of something to what Lori just said. I know Lori said all of it about our strategic planning, but I just wanted to acknowledge the Forest Foundation, because they gave us money to do the strategic planning. And then we had a facilitator who came all the way from Boston, 3 Saturdays, Trina Jackson from NIAS, who came here to facilitate the process for us, for the strategic planning. And also we have people from the community, from the mayor's office, from the election office, and from TND, and from Revere on the Move, who basically gave us more information by answering some of our stakeholders' questions. And that gave us a lot of substance on what we need to put in our strategic planning moving forward for WE. So I just wanted to thank all of them, and I also wanted to thank all of the volunteers, our interns, NUPO, and board members who spend all of their time. Daniela is there, who were there on Saturdays with us doing the strategic planning. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Fatu and Laure. Next, I want to introduce to you a Turkish group, a Turkish classical and folk music orchestra. They're going to perform some very lovely classical music, and I'm actually going to have them set up really quickly, so we're just going to take just a quick minute for them to set up. All right. Can we just give another round of applause to our Turkish classical and folk music performers? So I also hope that we have more raffle tickets sold, because again, we have some wonderful prizes here. Things like a one-night stay package at the Wyndham in Chelsea. It's a $175 value. So I'm going to ask everyone to take a seat, if you can. I want to make sure that everyone's attention is up here. All right, so up next is a very important person here in the community. Our keynote speaker, Representative Rosalie Vincent. Go ahead, yes. Representative Rosalie Vincent represents the 16th Suffolk District, the communities of Revere, Chelsea, and Saugus. Currently, she is a member of joint committees on transportation, tourism, arts and cultural development, economic development, and emerging technologies, and consumer protection and professional licensure. I had the privilege of actually going on a walk with her yesterday with the Undersecretary from the Department of Housing and Community Development. And it's always a pleasure for me to work and be alongside Representative Rosalie Vincent. Over the last 40 years, Representative Vincent has selflessly served to improve Revere and treated its residents with genuine compassion. I've also had the opportunity to work with her on what I do for work, actually, with Mayor Rizzo's administration and with Revere on the Move. We have a West Revere neighborhood group, and Representative Vincent has been a very strong advocate in getting things done, and we are seeing those improvements. We have changes and repairs that have been made to our underpasses that had been falling apart for a very long time. We have hopefully a dog park, the Revere's first dog park, coming soon as well. So these are, just some recent examples of the long time of the 40 years that she's been a real volunteer and activist here in our community. So at this time, I'm going to ask Representative Vincent to please come up for her remarks.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for having me here tonight. These are all tough acts to follow. Those little girls were adorable, and the musicians here were great. But I want to thank you for having me here, and I am delighted to be the WE's keynote speaker. And it's wonderful to see women together working to empower each other. And you're all here for that reason, and so am I. When I first thought about what I would say, I started to reflect on how being a woman and how the women in my life have influenced me in almost everything I've been able to accomplish. I come from a very strong line of hardworking, independent, self-thinking women, and they too were immigrants, all migrating here from another country. And being typical immigrants, none of them spoke English when they first arrived here in America, and they sometimes felt the loneliness and isolation being in a foreign land and not feeling like they belonged. My grandmother quickly realized that being able to communicate with neighbors and others, being able to communicate with neighbors and others in the community would be essential to assimilation. Learning to speak the English language was the first step, and she did. She prided herself in learning to speak English. Because communication is the first step to empowerment, because through communication, you can quickly realize that our similarities are far greater than any differences we might have. And to feel empowered, it's also important for young women to have role models. Obviously, the most important women in my life were my grandmother, and they were my role models. They instilled in me They instilled in me a bold work ethic, and a drive to achieve. They were both ahead of their time and showing by example that women can do anything they want. Okay. They instilled in me a bold work ethic and a drive to achieve. They were both ahead of their time, showing by example that women can do anything they want, that they are truly empowered, and they left no doubt in my mind that I could do anything I want as long as I worked hard enough for it. As a matter of fact, my mother, I watched her in admiration as during very difficult financial times in our life, she worked 3 jobs just to pay our bills and support our families. The lessons I learned from both women is that you have to strive to be financially independent. A good work ethic and a desire to achieve success are cornerstones to leading women to economic stability and financial independence. In addition to hard work, they instilled in me a sense of community pride and responsibility, to always give back. They taught me that women can feel empowered by getting involved in their community, just like you're doing here in WE. In a community as diverse as Revere, women can meet each other and feel empowered by joining together, but with various volunteer groups around the city. These various groups allow everyone a chance to contribute their vision and to network with others. There's no denying being a woman has been challenging, and being an immigrant and a woman is even more so. And if you want to believe it or not, women have only had the right to vote since 1920. So another important way to get empowered is to make sure you get out and vote. Register and vote. That's empowerment. We have come a long way as women, but we still have a way to go. As an elected official, some of my work impacts and empowers women. At the State House, I'm a member of the Caucus of Women Legislators. Along with fellow female reps and senators, we prioritize legislation that positively impacts women. This session, the Women's Caucus is focusing and pushing hard for legislation to establish pay equity in Massachusetts. And I'm pleased to say that I have co-sponsored this bill, which seeks to bridge the gender gap wage. In addition to pay equity, the caucus advocates on behalf of women for various issues. We collaborate with organizations like the Commission on the Status of Women, Jane Doe, and Harbor Cove to ensure that our state funding is providing opportunities for all women. Whether it's assistance for impoverished mothers or rallying around women's health matters, we are constantly trying to shatter the glass ceiling. In closing, I'm honored to serve in the legislature, and I believe that where I am today is because of the positive influences of the women in my life. I hope that you here tonight have a role model or will be a role model for some woman, because both my mother and grandmother were mine, and I only hope that I was a role model for one of my daughters. Thank you all again for the opportunity to speak here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Vincent. You have to come back up and get your flowers. The least we could do to thank you for all you do to support WE.
Hello, everyone. I'm back again. And I have been given the job to do the fun part, which is basically recognizing some of the people who really contributed to making WE what is it now. The first person that I would like to call on is one of our former board members. Her name is Celine Eraso. Celine joined WE board 3 years ago, and she was our treasurer and has been very instrumental in anything that we do at WE. Celine is a resident of Riviera, a mom of an 11-year handsome dude. And Celine joined WE because Celine wanted to be able to help women who really are in need. So we at WE believe that an empowered woman like Celine is a beautiful woman. You make the world around you beautiful, and you inspire us. So for us, you are the face of WE. Thank you.
Thank you.
We recognize you.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, everybody, and we do this with the bottom of our hearts to help Revere residents and to make sure that everybody around us, our neighborhoods, know that there's good quality people, good-hearted people in Revere.
And the next person that I would like to call on is our very dear Ira Novoskalski. Ira has been like a father figure for us since we started this organization. He has been very, very supportive of our program. Anything that we need from Ira is there to help us. Every year, Ira helped about more than 50 or 60 of our families with toys every Christmas. So there is no child in WE during Christmas who will go home without a toy from Ira. So we really appreciate all that you did for WE and all that you did for all of the new residents and all of the immigrants and all of the residents of Riviera and Ward 2. You are an outstanding community leader, and we really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we salute you.
Thank you, dear. My pleasure.
We appreciate you, Ira, for all that you did for me. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah? Okay. Salim, we forgot your flowers.
Okay, now next we have another performance from an organization, RIA, Revere Youth in Action. Women Encouraging Empowerment physically sponsors Revere Youth in Action, and right now we have Adrian, Budu Singh, beatboxing for us.
Wait, is this on? Oh. So before Adrian's performance, we'd like to say that Revere Youth in Action is starting a campaign to get a youth center in Revere.
Do I use this? Does this work? This one? I'm using this? Oh, I have to stand here. Hello? Does this work? Hi. All right. This is cool. I like this. Okay. So yeah, I can do it. Yes, Mom. Thank you, Mom. All right. So yeah, hi. My name's Adrian, and yes, I am a beatboxer. I've been doing it for 5 years. Wait, no, 5 years. Since 5th grade. Sorry, mix up. So the thing is, what I really love about beatboxing is I can take anything that I hear or anything that I hear on the radio or really anywhere generally, and I can change it into my own sound. For instance, I can listen to something like classical music and I can put on my own remix. So, oh, I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. Right? And then also, I could do things like, hey, listen, shush one. And also I could, oh yeah, so I can also do things like hip hop. For instance, I can move into things. Thank you. I can move in things like house music. And I can do things like electronic music, for instance. Right? But the best part, all right, but the best part is that I can take everything that I do and I can make it my own. So basically I start with a beat, right? And then I add more. Now you go a little past there and you add your own stuff and you can beatbox. That's it. All right, thank you very much. And if you want to see more, maybe you can come to our open mic June 19th at the American Legion building on Broadway. It's near City Hall, right next to it. Everybody's welcome. What time? 6 o'clock. All right. Nino, do you want to dance? Nino, can you dance? Okay. Wait, can you guys hear me well from here? Does this work? Yeah. Hey, okay. Really? All right. Guys, you gotta call me off guard. What is this?
Great job, Adrian. Up next, we have one of our interns. Come on up. Nupur Gupta. Thank you, Nupur.
Diane.
All right, thank you, Nupur. I'm gonna ask if all of who's actually in the room are members from Women Encouraging Empowerment. So I'd like to bring up the Women Encouraging Empowerment members who are in the room. If you can just come up to the stage, we'd like to recognize you and you as members of our organization.
Thanks to our program director, Jihan Soliman. Jihan has been working so hard on this for 3 months, just going around, looking for donations, making sure that everything is set. Thank you so much, Jihan. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I want to thank Women Encouraging Empowerment for giving me this opportunity and such. They're doing such amazing work with so little they have, and I appreciate all the support from you guys, and I'm really happy to be here tonight. Thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you.